Wednesday 52. So, we need a big beer and a big glass to put it in. And a little bit for the dads. Now you know what to do with all that water coming out your chiller coil. Be trying that one in the summer. Just got to find someone to do a guest appearance, I guess. Let's crack this open. Whoa. This is officially the last bottle of my all grain in a snafu sized bottle. Taking a while to pour. There we get in there. Extra time to mature this one, and we should be able to get all of it out of the bottle because the yeast compact it down really well in the bottle. I'm going to strain myself lifting it up. There we go. Cheers. Not a lot of hop flavour left, but it still tastes good. Well, what have we got this week for you? Well, some bargains. Some bargains arrived, some bargains ordered. And a road trip to go and get me grains. Just a quick snip.
It's road trip time! Still going.
Well, after the road trip we came back with some chili. 25 kilos of Munich. Pale Ale Malt Pearl. Another 25 kg. And 25 kilos Marisota. Yeah, so the road trip's done. The grains are here. Just got to get brewing now. So, you know, my smash off beer will be one of at least 3 of those grains. If I get time I might do all 3 and see which one is the nicest and send this one out. This was just Marisota and a little bit of crystal. You can see it's reasonably dark. It looks a little bit darker in this glass with the dimples. Anyway, some of you guys said last week I was scratching my head. Last week's Homebrew Wednesday suggestions for what to put in this week's Homebrew Wednesday to commemorate 52 weeks consecutive Homebrew Wednesday videos. So we've reached that milestone. So a couple of the guys wanted to know what all of those sheds contain, which I think was 10 or 11 of them. I lost count on my way around them, but they're yet to be edited. So here's a quick highlights of what's in Norfolk's shed segment. Well, you want to know what was in the other sheds? It's a pub. No self-respecting railway layout. It's complete without the village pub. And unlike the British railway network, this one does run on time. But unfortunately this one hasn't run for many years. At least 2. And in that time, I'm afraid, it fell into a bit of disrepair. Quick shot of the rolling stock we have. There's 3 shelves up there. And various wagons. Only railway I used to do my electronic stuff in here as well. Here's my oscilloscope. And the rest of a messy bench. It's showing signs of a little bit of damp in here now, unfortunately. But the shed has also had to act as a store, because I've had to lay 2 other sheds up. If you need a job lot of beer glasses, I'm your man. And shed 2 still has the drinks fridge, waiting for further use, and the water heater, and a job lot of alarm systems, and my timber store. Shed number 3, full of Volkswagen parts. You asked what was in my sheds? Shed number 4, a box full of carburettor parts. My panel lifting tool for plasterboarding sealants, and chicken grub, and more boxes of junk. Shed 5 more or less empty because it's falling down. Shed 6 converted to my son's entertainment room come shag pad. Shed 7, the big one, 20 foot by 16. Well, this is the shed where Homebrew Wednesday number 1 first started, and it's still full from the contents from the other 2 sheds that I've had to make redundant, plus a little bit extra. We've still got the mystery brew from that very first video, which has got a bit mouldy now. I think there's a good chance that one's infected, but the other contents of unknown still there in a big old whiskey bottle. Still don't know what's in that one or that one, if you can see it. But a few other items have gone, and I've got some little demis now. Possible cube for chilling. Still got the pressure barrels in there, and this is where all my surplus bottles still lie. If you need a wee drop, we've got some bottle miniatures in here. Some of those date back to when my mum and dad had a pub. So they're 50 years old. A little bit of evaporation in that one. There's a few in there I've picked up, but not something I'm really into. I didn't want to throw them away. And in nice orderly fashion, which is the only section in any of my garages, the sheds, is all my crated boxes for all my plumbing, lights, extractor fans, electrical fittings, UPVC window fittings. It's all along here. Switches, sockets, anything and everything I need or might need. More plumbing fittings up there. Decorating stuff. Power washers. Big chop saw. I've got all my cardboard boxes stored up top for packaging stuff. Extra bits of timber. All my nuts, bolts, nails and screws all in lin bin racking. Over there and over here. And the cupboards back there you can't see because of all the junk from the other 2 sheds that have now been emptied. Here's all my freshwater fishing gear. And all the rods are in the pods there. So yes, we've got a job lot of fishing gear as well. Yeah, the bits up there. Another box there. A few of these fellas kicking about as well for pigeon decoying, for pigeon shooting. Shed number 8, where we keep the dog grub and the patio furniture. And all my kids' huge disco DJ God knows what speakers. And it's full. You can open the door and hope for the best. Shed number 9. Yep, there's more. More bits, plumbing stuff, cast iron pipe fittings, my old toolbox, more little parts, storage bins, cleaning stuff. I was in the process of emptying this one when all the other changes took place. This is an old aluminium box body off a old truck that I got from work for 20 quid and moved it round the garden by hand, courtesy of a scaffold pull. Shed number whatever it is, 10? Work in progress. Shed number 11. The brew shed. Probably the smallest brew shed that I've ever seen. But you make space, utilise what you got. So let's run an inventory. We have two 33 litre Burco boilers for HLTs. That's one there I picked up at the auction. That's the other one I bought off of eBay. We've got that on the overhead gantry, which is integrated into the stainless steel table. There's my hose fittings for my water chiller. Underneath we've got some fermentation bins. On top is the 48 quart Coleman cooler for the mash tun. Another fermenting bin. Medium sized alley pot for brewing. Came in useful at Christmas, so we put the cockerel in there on Boxing Day. We've got the 70 litre boil kettle, and below it is a more or less same size pot. Again, another auction find. And we've got a 30 quart turkey fry pot. Again, another auction find. The big 15 litre mixing bowl. Another auction find. Then the gas burner. Some more pots on another stainless steel table I picked up. More fermenting bins. One of the 1/2 inch water chillers on top of the other one. The eye wash station, which just happens to be the modern equivalent of a corny keg. Another auction bargain. The wine bottle storage area, all the empties. That's my set of 4 tins, which is a 7.5, 11.3, a 15 litre and a 19 litre pots, so they all fit inside one another. And just some general more fermenters, more wine bottle holders, backup gas supply, spare gas hose, some more gas hose. Here's the hose I use for the water chiller. Well, you wanted to know what was in my sheds? You asked, you got. Anyway, it's about 4 degrees above zero. Time to put the kettle on, I think, and have a spot of lunch. We've got a plate whacker, a cement mixer, and that strange contraption is a mini digger. And that chap over there is the new neighbour. And there's another one behind him, which is a Shire horse and a Suffolk punch. Who knew one bloke could have that much shit? Now you do. So, what else has happened this week? Or over the last 7 days, other than getting me grain? Friday I had off, so I managed to order the grains, coincide that with the trip to go and collect them. As you can see, they got quite a big warehouse. Then I was feeling a bit crook for 2 or 3 days, so not a lot happened over the weekend. I postponed my job I should have done, which will be this weekend coming now, so that's going to tie me up for 4 days, possibly 8, because obviously I'll roll on to the next weekend with other work commitments. So I was going to push my brew schedule back a little bit more, because I was hoping to have got the job done this week and brew this weekend. So another spanner in the proverbial brew works as per usual. That's why I only take 1 day at a time. So what do we get this week? Norfolk's bargain segment now. Where's it gone? It's in here. A £1 bargain from eBay. is this little gizmo, which locks and slides together with a little hook to hang on your pot. So you can put leaf hops in there and leave it in the pot to do its business, or you could put some hops in it and pop it in your corny keg, if I don't break it first or knock the dog out when it hits it on the head. It's impact resistant. So yeah, we got this one. There are some other stainless steel ball type ones which are about £8, and I saw this purely by chance just perusing. So we picked this up for £1. I've also sniffed out what else we got? An Erlenmeyer flask, a conical flask, a 2 litre one for £8.40 including the dreaded tax. Now if I can post the link in the section below, I will. If you're on the Brewers Chat on Facebook, there's already a link on there. It's from a company called creamsupplies.co.uk. Quite reasonable postage as well. I was expecting the catch there with it's basically half the price of what it is on Amazon and eBay. But the postage was quite cheap. I think I ordered a few other bits as well. What else did I get? I got a magnetic stir bar for £2.99 from them as well, and a pack of Monin, which is a French company, liquid syrups, flavoured syrups. They're full of coffees, but they're like a little tester pack of 5, I think, in a little carton. We have them at work, but we never seem to have the coffee ones in. We have the cocktail flavour ones, but there's on their website they do, I think, about 6 different companies' types of syrups. There's hazelnut, lime, peach, strawberry, cherry, almond, amaretto. There's everything. They're all sugar based syrups. Some of them are quite reasonable price, in 25, 70 and 1 litre size bottles. Other bits and pieces, so the site's worth a look at if you want to buy yourself a bottle of syrup to flavour some cider or beers. As I know some of the guys a bit like the Melina syrups, but they're just in bigger bottles. Concentrate wise I don't know yet because I haven't used them, but I was going to get some from work as well because we've got the cherry and the strawberry and all sorts. Anyway, so that was the cheap deal. I've also ordered also bought a pH tester for the mash, just to see what it's doing, because the little coloured strips, I think they're about £5 a box, and I'm colourblind, so working out the shade on a pot to the stick, I don't know, there's not a huge difference, but it's easier. You dunk it in, it tells you job's done. Also got some of the stainless steel immersion heater bosses to weld onto the keg, so I've ordered 3. So we'll see what they're like when I get them. I think Chris has ordered one as well, so he's obviously got something in the... Now in the UK, this is something else I picked up, just a random thing here. In the UK we have to pay road fund licence or road tax, which depending on what size engine you have and how new the car is and the emissions blah 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 blah, you have to pay several £100s to only a few pounds, or nothing at all if it's a really eco-friendly low emission bullshit car that's crap, like a Toyota Penis or whatever they are. But over here we have to display a little road fund licence disc. Mine costs £123 something for 6 months. But you have to, by law, display that in your window. So, to go round it, to hold it in the window, I've purchased this. Yes, I have paid my tax disc. Yeah, because that's a great brand here. and several other places in the country is the fact that despite the government making billions of pounds a year out of road fund licence, they don't fix the fucking roads. So next time I get pulled by the boys in blue, they can read my tax with pleasure. Well, continuing on the theme of suggestions from last week, I think it was Cheshire Homebrew David said the highlights of last year, the last 52 weeks of doing Homebrew Wednesdays and various other videos that I've slipped in. My highlights of the year. My journey to all grain really. I built all my own equipment, bar the pot obviously, but I made my own mash tun, I made my own wort chillers, sourced the gas and set up there, bought a pot, found a couple of other ones, got inundated with various pieces of brew equipment from my little adventures at the auction and such like. So I suppose that would be one of my top highlights, I guess, is actually being able to brew my own grains. I haven't even, that's my first one, to do all grain brewed beer. See, even he likes it. Next, if I can continue without any argument from the German Shepherd next door, growing my own hops. A hop haul of last year in September. I think I pulled in with, although I cultivated some here from the shoots, they didn't really produce anything worthwhile, but the ones that I got at the house I was working at harvested me about, I think it was 3 kilos of fresh hops, plus an additional harvest a couple of weeks later. So that was good. Don't know what they're going to taste like yet. I don't know what variety they are. There's no real way of finding out unless you send a fresh one off to the experts and pay X amount of pounds to have it analysed and tell you what the alpha acids is. So in my case, it's going to be the old-fashioned way of chucking it in a brew and seeing what it is. So that might be a double smash, and I'll split the batch basically from the mash tun and brew a smaller batch in one of the other smaller pots that you may have seen in the earlier segment in the box, and brew some of that wort with my hops and another one with a commercially available hop that I have in stock. I've got a few varieties. Cascade, I think I've got Hersbrucker, the usual Fuggles and Goldings, East Kent Goldings, a couple of others I can't remember without looking on Beersmith. So I'm still yet to decide what hop I'm going to use, or if I get another one to put in for the comp. Yeah, so hops, and finally for the highlights of last year, I think early last year, Ben had not been on long, I'd not been on long. A few months in, he had a load of beers from Hanworth Homebrew, another brewer near him in London. So we had a little idea, or he had a little idea of a few of us doing a 7 days, 7 beers Brewtubers beer festival. So we done one beer every night and uploaded a review of a homebrew or a commercial beer. I done mainly commercial because that's all I had. That's the sort of cross I have to bear working at the biggest beer shop in the UK, but free beer's free beer. So yeah, that was another highlight for me last year, was the Brewtubers Beer Festival. And obviously now we've had the SJ Pour experiment, Uncle Jeremy's One Kit Challenge. Didn't partake in those, but didn't have time in some cases the funds to do all that, because I only work part-time, so my salary can vary considerably from week to week. What else? I've done some stats, looked at my figures. I'm now at 279 subscribers as of today, Tuesday, when I'm filming. If this all goes according to plan on the new editing software, you might see this before Thursday, unless it crashes like it did last week, which did remind me of the first time I done Homebrew Wednesday #1, was trying to get to grips with the editing software and was up till 2 o'clock Tuesday morning and didn't finally get it uploaded until Wednesday night, which nearly happened last week, and I ended up having to revert back to my old editing software to get a version of Homebrew Wednesday 51 out. So hopefully this one will contain some little extras. If not, ignore what I'm now saying, or I'll cut it out, because there won't be a fanciful opening credit and new opening graphics and some other little bits. Anyway, yeah, it was 279 subscribers, 85 videos I've uploaded, 12,600 viewings, you fools. My top 5 videos, as they stand for some reason, was Homebrew Wednesday 50. Shot at least nearly 100 above what they normally sort of average out, 150 to 80, something like that. That one currently is at 284. I don't know what I've done on 250. There was no naked women. 284 viewings. Mash tun build, which I'd done several months ago, 411 viewings. My grain mill, I'd done a few little mods on my Corona style grain mill, because there was a little bit of rough casting on it and I just needed to make it a little bit smoother operation, and rigged up a stud so I can run it off a drill. So I've done a little video of that. They're all in my channel there if you click on my channel video section. That was 855 viewings. My sparge arm build to go on my mash tun was 896 viewings. Number 4 or number 2 of the highest video views. But in at number 1, steaming well ahead of everything else, everyone must be interested in building their own wort chillers, because that comes in at 1,486 viewings. So that's well ahead, and that wasn't really a detailed build either. That was because I used 15mm copper pipe, which isn't very bendy friendly when you want to make a coil. It's okay for just doing elbows and S-bends and things out of springs and pipe benders, but not when you want to make a coil out of it, because most of them just buy the little coils of 10mm and just reform it around something which is nice and easy, is flexible. 15mm is a pig. Fortunately I had something that was strong enough to form it, and I had enough enough copper left over to make 2. So I can interlace them, and I've made a pipe to go between the 2. So I can actually run through one wort chiller, back out, through the other and out. So it will fit in my 70 litre pot, big styly, rib cage, interlaced. Or if I'm just using one of the smaller pots, then I could just use the larger of the 2 on their own. So it works well for me. But that was my all-time #1 video at the minute. I can't see me putting anything else that's going to draw that much interest. Certainly not a naked video like Uncle Jonah and Bigsy Q. What else have we got for you? We've done the bargains. We've done the bargains I've received and the bargains you can get if you look on the channel and need to buy yourself a few bits and pieces. A lot of talking, more jibber jabber. Gotta keep the old tonsils lubricated. Cheers to Kevin Clements for his highlight video he done last week, and even included a little old video of me in there, and of course a special guest appearance from Christian Clemence's stand-in, who just happens to be my back warmer tonight. Oh, wrong end. This is, oh, this end's got a towel. Towel. See, look. Same beady little eyes. Same dodgy little goatee beard. Yeah. The same vacant stare. Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. Anytime you need him, Kevin. You know, I know Christian bunks out on some of your videos. And he does drink beer as well. Actually, he's a little bit too keen on it sometimes. But it's not just about me and my channel. This channel wouldn't exist without you guys and gals out there watching my waffle for 52 weeks. I really should give you a medal. But I do, when I get time, when I'm not watching all you guys' videos, to have a little look round and see who's new commenting on your videos, or just put in Homebrew Wednesday #1 and see if there's anything recent coming up. So I've subbed to a few new Brewtubers that have come on in recent weeks or months. So I want to give them a shout out, so you can go and subscribe to their channels. I have found some American guys, there's 3 of them, called Brian, Mike and Kyle. They're all sharing, I think they're all building their own brew setups. One of them has already got one in his basement done. It's a bit like the same basis as Tony Yates's, the 3-pot electric system. They're doing some excellent quality video editing, good footage, well thought out and presented. Not like this. They don't do it on the fly. I think it's all scripted. I think Lucas is directing them. It's good. They're pucker. Check them out. They do some great videos on their brewing. They haven't got that many videos up yet, but I'm sure they're going to be a popular channel in the months to come. Canadian Sasquatch Brewery. He's a Canadian that I think lives down in Houston, Texas, or Texas anyway. Check him out. There's also a guy, he's the only one I know of that's representing France. He's called, aptly named, Frenchy Brewer. He's in France, so we've got France represented for Homebrew Wednesdays. We've got Glenn from Homebrew Brewery. You like how I slipped that brewery? Homebrew Brewery. In Holland. So come on, the rest of Europe. We haven't got anyone from Germany, Sweden. We've got Tony Yates. He's an American in Norway. He's representing Norway. Come on, Sweden. None of this nil point. We're not on a Eurovision Song Contest. So come on, we've got Taxi in Italy, Frenchy Brewer in France, Glenn in Holland, Tony in Norway. That still leaves a lot of countries in Europe to have a go at it. Even if it's in your own language, there must be homebrewers in your own countries. Even if English is your barrier to a wider audience, there must be homebrewers in Germany. Have a go. At least you waste half an hour sitting in front of a camera talking about your beer. And it would be nice for us guys to see what you're brewing at in different countries, what's available in your countries, what kits, what grains, how you're brewing, what you're brewing. Have a go. Not that you'll be watching my channel. Okay, so we've got Frenchy Brewer. Another guy is Jason Towers. Another new guy, he's an experienced brewer, but he's now started doing videos. Puts lots of music in his videos, so whether he's going to get flagged by the third-party content crap that YouTube have, I don't know. But check him out as well. And we've got another guy in the States, Sully Beer Kits, young guy. He's brewed before, but he's come back and started brewing on YouTube. He had an old channel, I think, for just general stuff, but he's having a little go at it as well. And we have another guy, for you guys in England, in Londonia. I'm talking to you, Ben, and Mr. Henworth, and Grant, and Uncle Jonah, you know, all those around the urbanised part known as London. There is a new guy called Kim Francis. He's, I think, South London somewhere, in a flat. He's just started kit brewing, started videoing. He's seriously bitten by the bug because he's already gone out and bought a really uniquely shaped cool box. I think it is anyway. If you check out his last video, it's Kim Francis. It looks like a little portaloo. It's the same shape as a toilet pan. I don't think he realised until I mentioned it in his comments, so next time when he does an all grain, I just hope it doesn't turn out shit. I'll put a link to all these guys, hopefully down in the comments box, or a bit above the comment, you know where I mean. In that bit down there again. So I'll do the links for the guys and the links for the bargains in there. So I think, summing up on my little cheat sheet, which is one of the first times I actually do anything on a bit of paper and not just do it on the fly. So that really sums up another week of pointless waffle. It's only included my beer, which is a homebrew, a bleeping in the background, which is Facebook chat, a look at the shit in my sheds, my brew hall, and some other clips, and my well carbonated homebrew, which I've talked about again. A special guest appearance by a hairier version of Christian Clements. He has got more hair on his head. But I've got an idea for next week's homebrew. I'm going to give you a challenge for me to brew a beer from a kit. I will let you choose the kit, and I will let you guys choose what goes in the kit that I have available. Can't say I'll brew it the following week because my work commitments at the minute, I don't know what happens from week to week, so I can't say, yeah, okay, you say next week and I'll brew it Saturday and that'll be in that week's video. But that's my idea for next week. I've got a ton of kits to use up. I don't care if it's 1 can, 2 cans, a stout and a cerveza in one, whatever. I've got raspberry juice. I don't care. We'll short brew it. We won't do the full 23 litre batch unless we do additional kit. You'll probably get away with it because of the extra extract. But that's my idea for next week if you're still watching. Anyway, I'm going to spend the next 6 hours swearing trying to edit this video, probably, if it doesn't work on the new software. If not, you'll see the same bland old 52-week-old editing software with the same opening credits that I've had for 40 weeks. But they are, that's life. If not, and it works, this will be the new format. Well, the new video format. And I think actually this new one fills me the full way of the screen instead of just having the black bits down the side. Anyway, I'm still waffling. Go and see someone else's channel. Check out them new guys. I'm out of here. Bye.